Hello everyone, myself Chetna Bhalia. Today I'm going to talk about the from the coffee houses to the cloud, reimagining the public sphere from neoclassical print culture to the digital networks. This is my academic information as well as presentation information here, table of contents. And my research question is, how has the public sphere evolved from the structural rationalism of the neoclassical coffee houses and the print culture to the dynamic digital meditations networks of the 21st century? And what does these transformations reveal about the access, discourses, and the ethical responsibility in the civic communications? Hypothesis is the evolutions of the public sphere from the neoclassical coffee houses and print culture to the modern digital network demonstrate that the while technology has expanded access and participations, the quality and the integrity of the civic discourses continue to depend on the ethical governance, inclusivity, and the informed engagement. Introduction. Late 17th to 18th century emphasized the reason, order, civic virtue, and the ethical discourses. It is the age of enlightenment and the reason. Coffee houses. The rise of the coffee houses, the center for the debate on politics, commerce, literature, and the civic life, reflecting structured and the rational discussion. Print culture also rise with the coffee houses culture that the pamphlets, journals, and the newspapers extended discourses, preserving knowledge and the posterity informed civic engagement. Participation was limited, reflecting the gender and the class hierarchy because of the class hierarchies and the gender conflict, because women are not participating in these debates. Internet, social media, and the cloud networks enable global real-time discussions and the new formats of the civic engagement in the 21st century. Now it will shift from coffee houses to the digital platforms. In the digital platforms, what we are as a get the opportunities that collaborations, collective problem solving, and the historically excluded voice gaining and the platforms. Here is the conceptual framework that the understanding the public sphere in the neoclassical context, where the public sphere is the domain where citizens engage in the rational critical debates, independence of the state and the private influence to the influence society and the policy. So there is a German philosopher that the Jürgen Habermas in his work The Transformations of the Public Sphere, which is published in the 1962, he introduced the public sphere in his work. In the neoclassical age, late 17th to the 18th century, this debate reflected societal ideas of the reason, order, decorum, and the civic virtue. How transparency that the debates are observed and documentations that who talked about in which topic. Rational arguments aligned with the neoclassical emphasis on logic and the moral reasoning. When it's talk about the debates, so it must be in the rational knowledge circulations that ideas spread through structure media, fostering informed civil engagement. Coffee house is the birth of the public sphere in the neoclassical age. Emergencies and the role. Now, in the 17th century, England shows the coffee houses emerge as the hubs of rational discussion. Rational discussion is a very significant have a role in the neoclassical age as the coffee houses culture that the commerce, literature, and the civic debates are happened. Politics engagement also have some significance that the coffee houses politicians, because most of the topics which is debated it all related to the politics and politics concern, fostered early civic awareness, public opinion formations, and the participatory culture aligned with the enlightenment rationalism. But there are some also limitations that participation is mainly by the men, women, and the lower class individuals and marginalized groups are largely excluded. The coffee houses served as a space where news and ideas were exchanged as freely as the coffee itself. The print culture, expanding the neoclassical discourses, that the rise of print media, newspaper and pamphlets are raised there and also well developed in the era of enlightenment. Political and the culture roles are here there. Documentations and the preservers, publishers gatekeeping determined which voice were heard. Literacy barriers limited access. Now the newspapers became the lens through which the public witnessed debate previously confident to the coffee houses. They have freedom to make their point and put their points that how they are thinking about the ruling authority. Social dynamics and the limitations, that hierarchies within the public spheres, while merchants, artisans and the laborers were present, their influence shaping debates was the minimal, reflecting Andrus's social hierarchies, that impact and the legacy, how these historical limitations inform modern discussions on the access, equality and the inclusions in the public sphere, reminding us that the participation is not automatically universal. Transitions to the digital sphere, that emerges of the digital network, now the late 20th century internet enabled global intensive discourses, allowing new form of public engagement beyond geographical limitations. Forums, mailing lists and the early website replaced the functions of coffee houses at the global scale. Now, opportunities, that digital networks allow the formations of the communities united by the shared, interested, and the promoting collaborations, information sharing, and the collective problem solving. And also, there are some challenges like the creating potential for the misinformations or the inclusions. Role as the digital hubs. University foster public intellectuals by the offering online lectures, MOOCs, blogs, and the webinars enable the scholars to reach global and audiences. How ethical guidance and the literacy, that the university plays a circular role in the promoting digital literacy, critical thinking, and the ethical engagement within the online public sphere. Social media as a modern public sphere, where challenges are there, governance and the ethics are also there. The maintaining the healthy digital public sphere requires the moderations, transparency, fact-based checking, and the educations on the responsible participations. Globalizations and the ethical challenges, that the global reach, it become digital networks connect to the citizens to across nations. They are updating each and everything in the every nations. There are some also the cultural difference and the language barriers also have some challenges they are facing right now. The ethical responsibility that sustain the integrity digital public sphere requires a shared norms, continuity and the transformations, that the core function persist across eras. The public sphere maintain the goal of debates, knowledge disseminations and civic engagement. Critical reflections, how historical public sphere had limited participation and the elite dominance, while modern digital sphere offered broader access but faced challenges like the algorithmic influence and the misinformations. When we see that the lesson for the future, that we are understanding like historical limitations informs the design of equitable, inclusive and ethically governance to digital public sphere. Historical foundation, that coffee houses and the print culture established the norms for the participatory discourses and the civic engagement. Digital public sphere like the modern digital network extend participations globally but introduce ethical and the structure challenges. So here is my learning outcome, that I discover while digital networks democratizes the participation, they also reproduce older hierarchies of the access and influence through algorithms, data control, and the unequal representations. And I learned that the how historical insight with the contemporary challenges developing a deeper awareness of how technology, culture, and the power interact to the shape of public discussion. So here are some references which I have used during making this presentations or research. And thank you. If anyone have any questions, so please ask.
Hello. Chetna, my question is, can neoclassical public sphere be seen as the foundation of modern democracy?
Yes, neoclassical public sphere have been as a foundation of a modern democracy, because it is a first time when the public are openly discuss about politicians concerns, and as well as they are putting their point of view that how the ruling parties have the tendency of how they are treating and how the norms are become.
So, Chetna, my question is, why is the public sphere important in a democratic society?
Public sphere in sphere important in democracy, that people are free and have their freedom to put the politicians as well as the public concern, that some topics are not discussed openly, but in this time through the digital platforms there are some people who are discussing openly that how the politicians and the other aspects also represent some ethical questions are there. And also there are some paid platforms are there, uh, they are also biased about the politicians and the governance. So thank you so much, this is from my side.